from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
The VON Major News Package for today, Monday, 10th June 2019. In our lead stories nationally, Crefton King Miko Warner awarded MBE by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and Nevis's Premier advises Nivision Public on recent U.S. visa application rules. Regionally, CXC says it is committed to providing examinations to regional students. Internationally, Canada to ban single-use plastics as early as 2021. And in sports, Antigua and Barbuda, Leeward Islands Masters cricket champions. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back, and now the national news in detail. Nivision Crefton King Miko Warner is one of 5 nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis who were honored by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Mr. Warner was awarded the Member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, MBE, for his contribution to calypso and musical development. King Miko is regarded as one of Nevis's legendary calypsonians with the second most Culturama crowns. He was first crowned Calypso King in 1978 and went on to win 8 more crowns in 1982, 1985, 1991, 1994, 1997, 1999, 2001, and 2004. The other awardees are Ambassador Constance Mitchum, recognized for her contribution to national development and law. She received the Dame Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, DBE. Dr. Cameron Wilkinson was recognized for his contribution to medicine and was awarded the Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, CBE. Office of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, OBE, was awarded to Mr. Denzel Crook for his contribution to commerce and business development. Miss Angeline Revan, for her contribution to education, community and public service, was awarded the Member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, MBE. In more national news.
I want to remind our people, because I continue to talk about people being responsible. A lot of people feel they can say whatever they want on social media. They can curse whoever they want. They can be derogatory. They can be vitriolic. They can almost sometimes be dangerous. They threaten people. I am saying to people, be careful, because the United States government is now saying that you must bring that history. If that is the case, it seems to me that they're asking you now for all profiles you might have, which would include fake profiles. And they have ways and means of knowing exactly who is who.
Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. Mr. Brantley made those comments during his On the Mark program on Wednesday, June 5th, which is aired here on Bun Radio. The comments came on the heels of the United States' recent amendment to visa application forms, which will state social media identifiers. The new visa application forms list many social media platforms and require the applicant to produce all account usernames they may have used over the previous 5 years. Applicants are also given the opportunity to volunteer information about social media accounts on platforms not listed on the form. Only persons applying for certain diplomatic and official visa classes are spared from the new conditions, which is part of a broad expansion of President Donald Trump's administration intensified screening.
This is not something unique to applicants from St. Kitts and Nevis. This is something that the United States government is introducing for people anywhere seeking a visitor's visa, non-immigrant visa to the United States.
Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. St. Kitts and Nevis has signed on to a number of conventions in order to safeguard its environment. Director in the Department of Environment, Ms. June Hughes, made the disclosure on Wednesday, June 5th edition of Working for You. One of the convention's name was the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, which deals with the issues of climate change and how we can reduce our greenhouse gas emissions to combat global warming. According to its official website, the UNFCCC entered into force on 21st March 1994. Today, it has near universal membership. The 197 countries that have ratified the convention are called parties to the convention. Another convention mentioned was the Convention on Biological Diversity, CBD, which is an international legally binding United Nations treaty to deliver national strategies for the conservation and sustainable use of biodiversity. Its three main goals are the conservation of biodiversity, the sustainable use of the components of biodiversity, and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from the use of genetic resources. Ms. Hughes also cited the Montreal Protocol on Substances that Deplete the Ozone Layer, which is an international treaty designed to protect the ozone layer by phasing out the production of numerous substances that are responsible for ozone depletion. St. Kitts and Nevis has also signed on to Basel Convention, which handles the transboundary movement of hazardous waste. In related news,
propose to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis to put in a ban on single-use plastics.
That was Director of the Department of Environment, Ms. June Hughes, on the government program Working for You, aired on June 5, 2019, World Environment Day. Disclosed during the program, the ban would eliminate the use of single-use plastics such as styrofoam. Styrofoam, also known as polystyrene, is a versatile plastic used to make a wide variety of consumer products. As a hard, solid plastic, it is often used in products such as food packaging and laboratory wear. When combined with various colorants, additives, or other plastics, polystyrene is used to make appliances, electronics, automobile parts, toys, gardening pots and equipment, and more. Ms. Hughes also suggested alternatives for single-use plastic.
The ones we would like people to embrace are the ones that are made from sugarcane, byproduct, and vegetative matter. Biodegradable plastic, you have to find out what it's made from. If it's not made from a vegetative base or a natural product base, or how long it takes to degrade, that might not be the wisest choice.
To address the problem of alternative biodegradable products being an expensive option, Ms. Hughes also disclosed a proposal to be sent to Cabinet to address that issue.
I'm hoping that in the proposal that we would send to Cabinet, Cabinet would lean towards looking at duty-free concession on the alternatives. It may be in phased approach, as in we start with 0 and we phase in until it reaches what percentage is supposed to be.
Director of the Department of Environment, Ms. June Hughes. Prime Minister and Chairman of the Caribbean Community CARICOM, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, has extended congratulations to the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, SVG, on its election to the United Nations Security Council, marking the first time in the country's history. SVG is also the smallest country to hold a coveted council seat. The 193 states of the United Nations General Assembly elected 5 new members to the Security Council Friday, June 7th. The other 4 countries that have been elected to the UN's most powerful body are Estonia, Niger, Tunisia, and Vietnam. He stated that we in the CARICOM grouping are even more confident now that disputes there and elsewhere will be settled by peaceful means, as St. Vincent and the Grenadines' vital voice and vote will be a strong champion. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris has stirred up delegates who attended the recently concluded 49th annual meeting of the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, as he gave recommendations for achieving economic transformation in the Caribbean region. The Prime Minister addressed the conference on pressing issues, namely the critical importance of attaining food sovereignty, tackling the perennial issue of poverty, mitigating the effects of natural disasters, and reducing crime. Additionally, he encouraged the CDB to assist further in heading off threats confronting the Caribbean, such as crime, which he said is one of the challenges of the region. The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis also advocated for the collaborative development of a digital economy. St. Kitts and Nevis will host the 13th meeting of the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism, CRFM Ministerial Council at the Marriott Hotel in Frigate Bay, St. Kitts on June 13th and 14th, 2019. The CRFM Ministerial Council is the highest decision-making body on fisheries, consisting of 17 member states. Ministers responsible for fisheries and aquaculture matters serve on this council. They review the work program of the organization, examine trends within the fisheries and aquaculture sector in the region, and discuss ways to address challenges that the sector faces. During the forum, the ministers will review the report of the 17th meeting of the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism Forum, the technical body of the CRFM, which was held at the Bird Rock Beach Hotel from March 20th to the 21st, 2019. It is expected that the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, Minister responsible for Marine Resources, will be elected as the chairperson for the CRFM Ministerial Council meeting. Minister Hamilton will seek to find policy options and plans to advance the efficiency and resilience of the fisheries and aquaculture sector. Finally, a consultation held on a national draft ocean policy is expected to help to push St. Kitts and Nevis towards a blue economy. That's according to the facilitator for the consultation and director at Howell Marine Consulting, Deacon Howell. He said St. Kitts and Nevis has jurisdiction over an extensive maritime area with resources that make a significant contribution to the country's economy. Director Howell explained why the national policy framework is so important to St. Kitts and Nevis, noting that it will significantly improve the monitoring of the maritime system. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism on Nevis, Mr. John Hanley, participated in the workshop last week and explained that it was important for representatives from Nevis who was present to contribute towards the national policy framework. The National Ocean Policy will be reviewed every 5 years to determine progress in achieving policy outcomes and to ensure that it is being considered by all relevant public bodies in their decision-making. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here's another one for the steppers.
Swipe to win big in 2019. That's right. The Bank of Nevis Limited is once again giving you, our valued customers, a chance to win big. Just swipe or use your Bond Visa credit card for US $100 for a chance to win a cruise for two, an iPhone XS, or a grocery dash at Best Buy Supermarket.
Say what?
Sign up for a Bond Visa credit card and automatically be entered for a chance to win. This offer ends August 31st, 2019. So tell your friends and family, just swipe to win big with the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram.
Welcome back, and now the regional news in detail. The Barbados-based Caribbean Examination Council, CXC, says it will stick to its mandate of providing examinations to students in the member states of the Caribbean Community CARICOM, even as it continues to hold discussions with the Barbados Workers Union, BWU. In a statement, CXC said that the discussions with the employees and the union center on an important restructuring exercise which will equip CXC and, by extension, examination candidates for the continued evolution of examination products and services. Last week, unionized workers at CXC stayed off the job for 2 days, and the BWU said that following talks with the CXC management, they indicated could not accede to the conditions that would form the basis for further discussions. The workers are reported to be disgruntled also at the fact that several vacancies have been posted on the CXC site, including jobs that are currently filled. In its statement, CXC said that its commitment to the mandate of assisting Caribbean people functioning in a changing global environment has been the driving factor as we hold discussions with employees and the Barbados Workers Union. Opposition leader in Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, has been cleared of any culpability in connection with the discovery of marijuana found on her private residence 6 years ago when she was Prime Minister. At a press conference on Thursday, Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith said that the small amount of ganja found on the premises could not be attributed to Persad-Bissessar. The illegal substance had been found in April 2013, while the then Prime Minister was out of the country. It was 2 years later that the police commissioner at the time, Stephen Williams, ordered an investigation into alleged cover-up of the find. However, the commissioner stressed that the investigation was not over. Persad-Bissessar and her United National Congress, UNC, welcomed the announcement by Commissioner Griffith, but expressed the hope that other open cases, including Emailgate and the fake oil scandal, could also be concluded. In the BVI, more than 750 cases of domestic violence have been reported to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, RVIPF, in the last 5 years, with the number of reported female victims doubling or even tripling the reported male cases annually. This according to statistics provided by the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force. Of the 767 cases reported between January 2014 to April 2019, an alarming 70.8% or 543 of those numbers being female victims. Based on information from bvi.news.com, some 47 cases of domestic violence have already been reported up to April of this year. Of that number, there are 37 female victims and 10 males. The year 2016 recorded the highest number of females becoming victim to domestic violence, with a total of 131 reported cases. Of that number, 82 were minor assaults, 46 serious assaults, 2 sexual offenses, and 1 attempted murder. In contrast, only 54 male victims were recorded, with 35 being minor assaults and 19 serious assaults. Finally, spurred on by a 24% rise in arrivals from the United States, the Caribbean recorded a healthy 12% increase in tourist arrivals during the first quarter of 2019, according to statistics compiled by the Caribbean Tourism Organization, CTO. In updating the media on the region's performance at a news conference yesterday as part of Caribbean Week New York, CTO Chairman Dominic Fidi revealed that between January and March this year, there were 9.1 million international tourist trips to the region, up by 970,000 over the corresponding period last year. The arrivals boom extended to the cruise sector as well, with a single quarter record 10.7 million cruise passengers visit, an increase of 9.9% or 900,000 more arrivals when compared to the same period in 2018. That's it for our regional stories. Stay with us for news around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. Canada will ban harmful single-use plastics as early as 2021 in a bid to reduce ocean waste, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has announced. This initiative is modeled on similar legislation passed last year by the European Union and other nations. Canada will also establish targets for companies that manufacture or sell plastics to be responsible for their plastic waste. Currently, less than 10% of plastic used in Canada gets recycled. Mr. Trudeau called the issue of plastic pollution a global challenge. The U.S. economy created far fewer jobs than expected last month, and wages also rose less than forecast. Some 75,000 jobs were created in May, rather than the 185,000 expected by analysts, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said. The dollar dropped as markets assumed that the lower-than-expected job growth meant a rate cut by the U.S. Federal Reserve was more likely. But the U.S. unemployment rate remained at 3.6%, its lowest level for 50 years. The U.S. dollar fell more than 0.4% against the pound, the euro, and the yen after the jobs figures were published. Head of dealing at Fexo Corporate Payments, David Lamb, said while the U.S. jobless rates remain at its historic low of 3.6%, far fewer jobs are created and wage rises are moderate. In India, 3 men have been jailed for life for the rape, torture, and murder of an 8-year-old Muslim girl in Indian-administered Kashmir. 3 police officers were found guilty of destroying evidence and sentenced to 5 years in prison. The victim, who belonged to a Muslim nomadic tribe, was found in a forest near Kathua city in January 2018. The case sparked widespread anger and made headlines when Hindu right-wing groups protested over the men's arrest. 8 people, including a former government official, 4 policemen, and a minor, were charged in connection with the crime. One of them has been acquitted, and the minor is set to be tried separately. All of them had pleaded not guilty to the charges against them. The case became one among many high-profile ones that prompted India to pass a new law which introduced death penalty for anyone convicted of raping a child under 12. Finally, a rescue boat has overturned in the Atlantic off the west coast of France, leaving 3 crew members dead amidst wind of up to 80 miles per hour. They were part of a crew of 7 who had gone to the aid of another boat which had gone into difficulty as Storm Miguel struck the area. Winds of up to 147 kilometers per hour hit northern Spain earlier, swirling around the Bay of Biscay and moving on to France. The storm is unusual, coming at the start of the summer tourist season. Photographs of the National Society of Sea Rescue boat captured it rolling in large swells in the moments before it capsized, after which the vessel ran ashore upside down. 4 of the 7 crew aboard the rescue boat managed to swim to shore. 3 helicopters and around 60 firefighters were attempting to find the bodies of the 3 dead. That brings us to the end of the news segments. The latest in sports is next.
See you, John.
Betty,
How come you never tell me what's going on up at TDC?
Well, I'm glad you asked because TDC Automotive has some awesome deals. Get the car a new spare tire for just $100 plus VAT. And they have selected tires for 30% off. And for the Jeep, if you buy a selected Goodyear tire, you can get a second one for just $99.
Well.
And not finished yet. They're offering up to 30% off selected Valvoline oils and universal car mats and a whopping 50% off Energix batteries.
TDC Automotive not making no joke. I going up there now.
Welcome back, and now the sports in detail. In cricket, Antigua and Barbuda took the championship trophy for the 2019 Leewards Masters Cricket Tournament in grand style on Sunday in Antigua. They beat St. Thomas in the finals by the Duckworth-Lewis method. Summarized scores: St. Thomas 183 for 3 in 20 overs, Neil Lewis 92 not out, Earl Waldron 41. Cornwall, Joseph and Francis 1 wicket each. Antigua and Barbuda 161 for 4, Sylvester Joseph 56, Trish Phillip 38, Harilal 28, Wilden Cornwall 14. Waldron 2 wickets, Mead and Haywood 1 each. In basketball, Kevin Durant was playing basketball on Sunday. The Golden State Warriors hope he will play again on Monday. With the Warriors back to the wall now in the NBA Finals, Durant, now out for more than a month with a strained calf, took the practice floor on Sunday in an effort to determine if he will be able to play in Game 5 of the title series on Monday night, 9 p.m. ET on ABC. His status for the game was upgraded to questionable Sunday evening. The Warriors trail the Toronto Raptors 3-1 in the series and need 3 straight wins to capture a 3rd straight championship. In more cricket news, the World Cup match between South Africa and the West Indies was abandoned on Monday after persistent heavy rain in Southampton, with both sides earning a point each. Earlier, West Indies paceman Sheldon Cottrell reduced Faf du Plessis' team to 29 for 2 before rain stopped play. South Africa, desperately needing a win after defeats in their first 3 matches of the tournament in England and Wales, lost the toss and were put into bat under threatening skies. The West Indies are 5th in the World Cup table with 3 points after 3 matches, while South Africa are 2nd from bottom after 4 games, leaving their hopes of making the semi-finals hanging by a thread. Finally, in athletics, Olympic sprint champion Elaine Thompson dominated the field to win the women's 100 meters at the Diamond League meet in Rome ahead of Britain's Dina Asher-Smith. Jamaican Thompson clocked 10.89 seconds in the Olympic Stadium, with Asher-Smith second in 10.94 seconds, and American Alia Hobbs, winner in Shanghai, third in 11.12 seconds. Thompson, the Olympic champion in the 100 meters and 200 meters, was beaten by Asher-Smith in the 200 meters in Stockholm last week, with the Briton also winning in Doha in May. That's it for the sports segment. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back, and now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight, partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Winds east to east-south at 15 to 30 kilometers per hour or 8 to 16 knots. Seas 1.5 to 1.8 meters or 5 to 6 feet. And sunrise tomorrow is at 5:36 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Monday, 10th June 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, Crefton King Miko Warner awarded MBE by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and Nevis's Premier advises Nevision Public on recent U.S. visa application rules. Regionally, CXC says it is committed to providing examinations to regional students. Internationally, Canada to ban single-use plastic as early as 2021. And in sports, Antigua and Barbuda, Leeward Islands Masters cricket champions. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tammy Reed, wishing you a pleasant evening.